is my our report, Islamic Colonial Period. So, the history of Islamic art expansion is quite detailed and extensive. It is a lengthy subject on its own. The beginning of Islamic art is hard to distinguish from those of existing culture at the time of the birth of Islam, but it's known that plant motifs were popular. So the most Islamic art top work, Taj Mahal, Dome of the Rock, the Lock of Eden Hall, 13th century glass beaker, Friday Mosque of Herat, Afghanistan, Kamsa of Nizami, Persian painting in 1539. So this is Islamic Taj Mahal, the number one, the most top work of Islamic, top work art. Islamic artistry in architecture is not known only for dome, ceiling in great work like Dome of the Rock or the Taj Mahal, but for the rich mosaic entire work were influenced by the mosaic of the Byzantine period and lead to a centuries-long practice of crafting glaze, tiles, and bright and vivid colors, and a later technique of painting tiles before firing. So, yan po ang Taj Mahal, yung itsura niya. So, let us proceed the Dome of the Rock.
Dome of the Rock from Jerusalem. Dome of the Rock is one of the oldest Islamic monuments still standing today. It has a grandiose monumental form representing one of a small number of buildings in the Islamic world that may be chronicled as part of the creation and formation of an Islamic art in general.
The Lock of Eden Hall, a 13th century Syrian beaker in England since the Middle Ages. The Lock of Eden Hall is an enameled glass beaker that was made in Syria or Egypt in the middle of the 14th century, elegantly decorated with arabesque in blue, green, red, and white enamel with gilding. It is now in the Victoria and Albert Museum in London, and this glass is 15.8 high and 11.1 cm wide at the brim.
Friday Mosque of Art. Over 100 years old, Herat's Friday Mosque is Afghanistan's finest Islamic building and one of the greatest in Central Asia. Masterclass in the art of tile mosaic, its bright colors and intricate detailing are an exuberant hymn in praise of Allah.
Kamsa of Nizami. The Kamsa of Nizami, this is an unusual depiction of Prophet Muhammad from an Islamic manuscript. It is a 1 of 14th page illustration included in a copy of the poems of the celebrated Persian poet Nizami, which was specially created from the Safi ruler Shah Tamasum.
Painting and illumination. Islamic art is illuminated manuscripts. Miniature paintings and illuminated manuscripts were among the highest achievements in visual art within Islamic nations. Rugs and carpets. From the yarn fiber to the colors, every part of the Persian rug is traditionally handmade from natural ingredients over the course of many months.
Calligraphy. Calligraphic designs are omnipresent in Islamic art, whereas in Europe in the Middle Ages, religious exhortations, including Quranic verses, may be included in secular objects, especially coins, tiles, with metalworks, and those painted miniatures, including some script, as to many buildings. Use of Islamic calligraphy in architecture is extended outside of Islamic territories. One notable example is the use of Chinese calligraphy of Arabic verses from the Quran in the Great Mosque of Xi'an.
So now let us proceed to the ceramics of Islamic colonial period. One of the ceramics that belongs to the Islamic colonial period is the 10th century dish from East Persia. This Islamic pottery was often influenced by Chinese ceramics, whose achievements were greatly admired and emulated. This was especially the case in the periods after the Mongol invasion and those of the Timurids. Techniques, shapes, and decorative motifs were all affected until the modern period. Western ceramics had very little influence, but the Islamic pottery was very sought after in Europe and often copied. An example of this is the albarello, a type of mayolica earthenware jar originally designed to hold the apothecaries, ointments, and dry drugs.
Medieval Islamic metalwork offer a complete contrast to its European equivalent, which is dominated by modern figures and brightly colored decoration in enamel. In contrast, surviving Islamic metalwork consists of practical objects mostly in brass, bronze, and steel, with simple but often monumental shapes and surface highly decorated with dense decoration in a variety of techniques.